call this meeting to order. As you are able and willing, please stand for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, thank you all for coming. First up, as always, public comment. We have no one signed up to deliver public comment tonight, so we'll move right into the report of the secretary. Can I have a motion, please, to approve the minutes of our last meeting?
I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of Wednesday, March 11th, 2026. Second, Rebecca.
Rebecca, thank you. Any comments or questions?
I just had one, which is really more of a question, just for clarification. So on page 3, 5 bullets down, late start. So we had talked about late start, and this says we're postponing the discussion for the time being, but I'm just wondering if we could add, like, we do have a plan for that upcoming, was that going to be the end of June or something?
June, we have it booked in June. We have a
Okay.
workshop.
I just think it's important to include that because we do have some community members who are sort of awaiting that conversation. I don't want it to sound like it's not happening. Does that make sense?
Okay. Any other comments? So with that addition, all in favor? Okay, that's 6-0. Thank you. Brings us to the report of the chair. We just finished our first of 3 scheduled budget workshops, during which we covered 5 of the 6 cost centers we had scheduled. We did grants, technology, transportation, facilities, and adult ed. Lots of really good, robust conversation about moving some money around, taking some out, putting some in. Really good conversation about what's being offered and what we're planning to do. So I thought that was very productive. Our next workshop will be at the beginning of April. I think it's April 1st, actually, right? Is our next meeting.
Can we,
Okay.
can we talk?
Go ahead.
Can we just talk, can we let the community know of the option to have access to this?
Oh, sure, of
Yeah.
course. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't, Ryan, can you?
I can
what
say,
the
so
plan is,
on the district website, they can find the budget presentation from
Mm-hmm.
last meeting and the budget book, which has all the detail that's in these
And the budget
binders.
book,
Yeah.
yes.
With, I assume, with the clickable links.
With the
To get
clickable,
back and forth.
clickable
Yeah.
links to get to the different sections, and it also includes the actual PowerPoint, which is super, super helpful. I mean, you could listen to the recording of the presentation that interim superintendent Hurley did, or honestly, you could read. This is very, very well done, and I just want everyone to know that you have access to really succinct, organized information if you have any questions or concerns about the budget, and everyone is really, really encouraged to come to the meetings if you have questions, ideas, and for sure solutions. That would be great. So please come if you are concerned. Thank you for your support.
Ryan's just going to add.
I
Ryan
just want to add one thing. The meeting recording did not record the last meeting. We were having technical difficulties.
Okay.
But Mrs. Early Hersey did go back through and re-record a voiceover on all the slides.
Oh,
so there's
awesome.
a plain slides that got posted on the website, but there's also one with the recording. So you can hear basically the same presentation that she did give at the board meeting. I apologize, I'm not sure what happened with the stream, but the stream and the recording that we made of the meeting did not come out correctly. So
Glitchy.
I just wanted to point that out. I know you said
That's
recording, so-
fabulous.
But it is
No,
there.
It is there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great. Thanks. Yeah, that's
Great.
Can I just
a lot
add
of work.
one thing, too? I think a reminder too that the slides and this budget book and the presentation, this is the proposed budget.
That's
So
right.
that's the point of the workshops, is to go line by line, dollar by dollar, penny by penny, through every single expenditure in the district and revenue in the district, and everything is sort of up for discussion. So that's the point of what's happening now. So this is all just the proposed budget at this point.
Yep, and you're welcome to come to the workshops.
Yes, workshops are open to the public. That's it.
Very good, thank you. Second thing on my list is the Hawk Conference update. I did want to mention that Jen and I did a session with attendance, 21 folks attended. That was fun. Coffee with the board, where we just talked about, they asked us questions. A lot of discussion about what we're looking for in a new superintendent and how the superintendent search is going and those kinds of things. And to the extent that we could answer those questions, we did. It was a productive session. But in general, I would actually turn it over to you, Heidi, if you wanted to, just to talk a little bit more about how well the hot conference.
Yeah, it was a really good day. I mean, we were excited to have a few new things this year. One exciting thing was we invited the staff from Rollinsford Grade School to join us, so they were here and took part in sessions with us, which was awesome. We had a fantastic keynote speaker, Dr. Irvin Scott. He teaches in the Graduate School of Education at Harvard. Just a really wonderful, dynamic, easy to listen to speaker to kick our day off really positively. And I would say there were about 50 to 60 workshops that were offered throughout the course of the day. Teachers and counselors and anyone who attended got to choose their own adventure. Everything from full-day workshops focused on one thing to one-hour workshops, so a little taste of a bunch of different things. We have so much community support. I mean, the donuts and coffee were donated by Aroma Joe's and Congdon's, and Horace Mann Insurance provided a great lunch for everybody. We had tons of vendors in the town square upstairs. Just had a really good vibe. It was a wonderful day.
Yep, thank you. Appreciate that. Last thing, the town officials meeting was this morning. I was not able to attend. Heather, you did, right?
I
Would you
did.
please?
Yeah, so the update from Elliott, their June warrant budget is complete. They're looking at a 1.6% increase, which is mainly due to their projects, mostly like their Park Pavilion project that's going to be is going to benefit the entire community, be a great place for ice skating and hanging out and all sorts of things. On another note, they're sending staff to Alice training through our schools. So there's going to be several folks attending the Alice training coming up. So there's been some road closures in Elliott, which has caused some community concerns, but obviously the roads are closed to try to protect their investments, keeping them nice and not ruining them. It's been really cold and snowy, so they've really got, so you're going to see the same thing in South Berwick as well, some road closures. In South Berwick, the update is the budget will increase 12.7% or more. The warrant is going out on Tuesday, and the main driver of the increase would be the EMS and fire update. And then they're also hiring a new planner and part-time librarian. And let's see more over here. Yes, road closures due to the cold, trying to protect the investments of the road repairs. There are some town hall building delays due to ground stabilization. So they're also moving the location of town council and planning board meetings to another location, TBD, moving forward. In terms of the school update, Ryan gave a summary of some school updates, which included the budget presentation, which happened the other week. We can expect like a 4.33%. This is the proposed 4.33% increase to our school budget, but this is mainly due to COLA and health insurance increases. So we're looking at like an overall tax increase of 3.9%. South Berwick, we're looking at 6.8% for school, but and then 1.43 for Elliott. And then there was some discussion about the extra pay, in a couple of the months, and we asked.
The 3 payroll month.
Yeah, the extra payroll,
Yeah.
that we could borrow some money a little bit earlier from the towns, instead of paying interest to banks
pay the interest back to the community towns.
Good idea.
So that was also presented. Okay, that is it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Awesome.
That concludes my report. Brings us to the report of the superintendent.
Awesome. Well, I'm happy to say that several members of our middle school and high school counseling team are here tonight. This is an exciting twofer tonight. So we have the opportunity to take a look at some of our My House data, the Maine Integrated Youth Health Survey. And I reached out to the counselors and said, would you guys be willing to present our data this year and really use it as an opportunity to highlight some of the changes since we took the survey 2 years ago and talk about how the work of the schools and specifically some of the work that the counselors have done over the last couple of years has certainly supported some positive changes for students. So I'm going to stop talking and turn it over to them.
Okay, hi, I'm Kathleen Ring, one of the school counselors at the middle school. I'm here to share an overview of the Maine Integrated Youth Health Survey that our 7th and 8th graders took last year. The state runs a survey every other year, and the results of our district and the other schools across the state can be found at the Maine Department of Education website. So you can look all this stuff up yourself, or anybody can. Okay, so last February, we had 148 7th grade students, 142 8th grade students. They took this. We're ready for the next one. And we got some results. We actually all just got together. Heidi was there and other members from the middle school and high school staff when we went through this with other York County schools and we looked at the data. Here's some substance use data that we found. So this is 2025. So these students, this was from like last year. So everybody's in one grade. Like for us, it's the 8th and 9th grade, current 8th and 9th graders. We had 9% of students report that they have used an electronic vapor product, and that was up from 4.5% back in 2023. And we thought about that, or I thought about this data, and I was looking, and last year we did have some behavior reports for electronic vapor product use at the middle school, and this year we have none. Our intervention is something that we call a 3-meeting model. So a counselor will meet with a student for 3 times, and we look at supports and interventions and communication and any resources, and we found this intervention to be successful. Alcohol, 2.7 of students report that they've had at least 1 drink of alcohol in the past 30 days, and that's down from 3.3 2 years ago. Marijuana, 13.6% of students reported it would be easy or very easy to get marijuana, down from 13.9, so it's like kind of stayed the same, but that was back 2 years ago, 2023. And then under other drugs, 4.9% of students reported that they've been offered, sold, or given drugs on school property, and that's down from 6.8% in 2023. Suicide and depression, there's some data there. So 2025, the report shows 24.7% of Marshall Middle School students reported feeling sad or hopeless almost every day for at least 2 weeks in the past 12 months. And that was down a couple percentage points from 2023. We were at 26.6 then. And we have 14.2% of the middle school students reported that they seriously considered attempting suicide in the last 12 months, down from 16% in 2023. For that, we just collaborated with Choose to Be Healthy. We purchased a program called SOS, which is Signs of Suicide. It's a suicide prevention program that we'll be implementing next year with, I believe, with our health courses. So it's just an education piece. Nutrition at the middle school, 2025 data, 48.3% of students reported they have eaten fruit 2 or more times a day within the last 7 days, and that's up from 31.5% in 2023. Where are we? 27.5% of students ate fruit and or vegetables 5 or more times per day in the last 7 days, up from 14.3% in 2023. And 20.7% of students reported that they drank soda, sports drinks, energy drinks, or other sugar-sweetened beverages at least 1 time per day in the past week, and that's up from 13.2%. So we're seeing fruits and vegetables. That piece is going really well, but all of our other drinks that we see everybody walking around with, like that glow in the dark and give lots of energy, that is that's going up. That's what our data shows us, and I think that's what we all see too.
Yeah.
Okay, this one I felt really proud of as a school, and I think we all did at the middle school table, the Marshall Middle School table. So we have 90% of our students feel safe at this school. We felt really good about that. We have, lots of staff present in the hallway, greeting Officer Gavoni there, and it just feels good that that's what kids are feeling too. Well, this was another one. So agree, we have 79.2% of students, up from 73.2 2 years ago, that agree that at least one adult at school really cares about you and gives you support when you need it. I feel like that has really been a focus of our school, and I can't, talk about it without mentioning Mrs. Goulet, because she really is kind of our driving force and leads the charge in making our school like a really welcoming place. If you walk into the building, if you're a student, you're going to be greeted by multiple adults before you even hit your locker. And we'll get into it, but there's more examples of what's going on at the building. But that's really been, I think, a focus and a goal of our building. Okay, so here are some of the things that we're doing. Birthday pencils. If it's your birthday, it's announced. You come down, you get your pencil from Mrs. Goulet. We have monthly core values that are read every single morning with the live principal announcements. So the principal's live streamed into every advisory, every classroom. Pencils, core values, all of that is addressed then. Students greeted and dismissed by staff daily. So if you're at our school at dismissal, you'll see if you're leaving with your backpack to head to your bus or wherever you're going, to your practice, whatever's happening, multiple people are going to say goodbye to you, have a good day. Same thing in the morning. We have social emotional lessons, community circles. We've changed from a traditional disciplinary approach to more of a restorative practice, and that's been a big piece that we're implementing this year. Variety of clubs, sports, activities. There's more, and I haven't put it all on there, but we're trying to do a lot, I think. Oh, well, so those are some small pieces. A big piece that has been implemented is last year we started the Wellness Summit. Last year our theme was Mindful and Strong. Here's a couple pictures. We had 20 presenters from the community, and students were in groups and they did different activities. In the afternoon we had a field day outside. We had the blow-up obstacle course, which is pretty popular. Popsicles. We had like a picnic lunch. We had 488 students last year participating, and the feedback was really positive, so we're doing this again this year on May 7th. Stop by. This year's theme is Every Hawk Matters. Okay, yeah, we can't do this work alone. So here's some of the local organizations that we work with. So our school's a member of Maine Youth Thriving, and they help communities create positive experiences. And I just learn about them, and the more I work with them, the more I find out they're doing some really great stuff. Teens to Trails encourages teens to get outside and connect with their community. Mrs. Goulet we do Teens to Trails in the spring, I think, and students are recording like how much time they spend outside, and I'm not sure whether there were prizes last year or something, but there's a competition somehow. NAMI Maine, the National Alliance of Mental Illness, they'll be presenting again at our Wellness Summit. They have a presentation called Mental Health Conversations. I think we do that with 8th graders, so that's an option for students to go participate in. Caring Unlimited, their domestic violence prevention program. They go into our health classes every year and talk about healthy relationships. Choose to Be Healthy. We work really closely with Choose to Be Healthy, and they're really supportive. Sally Manahan there I don't know, lately has been popping by the school, and she's supporting a lot of our programs to include the SOS program that I talked about. We're a BAR school, so that's building assets, reducing risks. We talk about every single student. Throughout the year, we'll have talked about every single student. We talk about their strengths, any interventions that could be supportive to them. Did I miss anybody? Oh, and Sweetser. We partner with the Sweetser, which is a behavioral health organization. We have a school-based clinician right in our building. We work really closely with her, and she is great to work with. Oh, here are some more examples. So Maine Youth Thriving. Sally Manahan from Choose to Be Healthy is financially supporting a Maine Mattering cabin that we're getting at the middle school. There was like an event last weekend, and so we'll have one at the middle school, and it will be all student-led. So this is just an example, but we'll have Marshall Middle School students will actually like design and organize, and they provide like the actual cabin piece, but we can do with it what we want. So that's exciting. That's coming up. At the Youth Summit, the Wellness Summit that we're having in May, Choose to Be Healthy, they're sponsoring. Every child's going to walk away with an Every Hawk Matters drawstring bag, I think a squishy. We have some stickers. Also, NAMI Maine has these wellness toolkits, and every student will get one at the Wellness Summit, and Choose to Be Healthy is also sponsoring those. It's like a workbook with crossword puzzles and little journal entries and way to keep track of how much water you drank that day, and lots of little resources. Oh, and I wanted to end with this because this stood out to me. While we're doing all of this work in the schools, I just wanted to recognize the work that all of our families do and how I know, working at the school, I appreciate collaborating with such supportive families. It says, how often does your family give you love and support? And this is the percentage of students who answered most of the time or always, and it's 91.4%. So that just speaks to our families and our communities, and that's how we can do this work, because kids are feeling the love and support from home.
Awesome. Thank you, Kathleen. I'm Caitlin LeBeff. I'm one of the school counselors at Marshwood High School, and I'm here to review some of the data from the Maya survey for high school students and also connect it to the school counseling program that we're currently doing as well. So the total number of students in 2025 that took the Maya survey was 413 students. Just some data points to pull from. 61.4% of MHS students reported that they feel like they matter to people in their community. That was up from 46.5% in 2023, so that's a pretty significant jump there, which was awesome to look at. Also, 47.9% of Marshwood students reported they felt people at school care about them and encourage them. That was up more than 10% from 2023. And some of the things that we are doing as a department and as a greater school community to help contribute to these positive numbers: increase communication with students and families. So we have a monthly school counseling newsletter that goes out every month. We have social media pages. We have had a Facebook page for a little while. We just started up with an Instagram this year. I think we're at about 175 followers right now. I'm really proud of those stats right there. We do grade level letters home with important information and events coming up. And within the last few years, we've increased our family involvement in individual meetings with students, particularly during junior planning, future planning presentations. Ninth grade orientation and transition work is huge. We just closed out another really successful 8th grade family night this afternoon. It was a full house this evening. Shout out to Lindsay Edson and all of her work planning that as a 9th grade counselor. And our work with the BAR team has really been incredible. And the ninth grade team actually spoke to the eighth grade families this year in the auditorium, and it was really, really amazing to hear about those little touch points that they do with students throughout the year. Every student gets a letter from a supportive staff member to encourage them to keep going. We have had some guest speakers. So Nick Tucker, I have some photos of him in the next slide. I'll talk about him a little bit more while those photos are playing. Coming soon on March 31st, we have Future You Day. So we're going to have a modified schedule and break in the afternoon for about an hour and a half. And every grade level will have a certain activity that they're doing. Ninth graders will have an alumni panel. We have alumni from 1986 to 2003 to really share their experience at Marshwood High School and how they got to where they are today. Juniors will receive a panel headed by Dr. Lynn Zlatkowski. Sorry, Lynn, you got a tough last name there. Her title, she is the Director of Retention and Student Success at Southern New Hampshire University, and her focus is really first-generation students. Other panelists are going to include Jeff Fitzagera, our lovely art teacher who's a former Marine. We have the owner of Three Bridges Yoga over in Portsmouth, and then Lynn is going to be bringing a student from SNHU as well to tell their story. And then we have student celebrations, such as Senior Aspiration Day and Senior Send-Offs, which I'll talk about at the next slide. Cool, so last year we launched 2 new senior celebrations. So Senior Aspiration Day, Decision Day. May 1st is really the day to celebrate our seniors because that is the deadline for students to submit their enrollment deposits to colleges and really figure out that next step for themselves. And we want to be more inclusive of that, so students who might be committing to a military branch or starting an apprenticeship or a job. This is a photo from last year, so the class of 2025. We had a big group photo in the lobby. We had cookies. There was a photo station. We really are going to expand this year in a really positive way. Our model for this year is to have an all-day event. So the Career Center is going to become the Decision Day space. Senior classes will be able to walk their students down and funnel in. There'll be photo booths. We're hoping to partner with some local vendors to give us some awesome donations of some snacks and treats and maybe some prizes that students will be able to win at a raffle table. And this is just one of the events that I personally look forward to every year because you can really see the pride on seniors' faces to see how far they've come. Related to that, senior send-offs. So last year, this was a new tradition for us. So each graduating senior received a personalized note tucked into their cap and gown from a member of the Marshwood High School staff. So, that senior was able to see, okay, one staff member saw me, they saw me grow, and they saw that I was able to be successful and graduate. We're going to expand this even more next year and open this up to community members to either write a personalized note or, donate something else in some way to celebrate our graduating class, so, yeah. Kathleen, if you want to click twice, I have, yes, and the second one. You can have them both play at the same time. Yes, that's fine. So this is just a slideshow of our new student orientation. We are very excited that this will be the first day of school next year. Very, very pumped because that's really going to increase our student participation and ability to go. Transportation was a barrier for a lot of those kids to not be able to be bussed over. So that's, we're obviously going to expand this year to year. Need some support here. Yes. I'll keep going. Welcome to Google, everyone. So for new student orientation, students were able to cycle through stations. So in years past, we've done a student panel about some life advice moving into high school. We've had things on study skills. They get to hear from teachers and all of that, get a really great barbecue lunch out in the beautiful summer weather. Another thing too is Nick Tucker. We were able to bring him to Marshwood High School this year. So Nick Tucker is a Noble High School graduate who literally made a career out of being resilient and speaking to students. And we coordinated an activity for students to work on an advisory. So they identified a challenge that they had, a strategy to work through it, and a support person for them. And we were able to display all of these little notes here on our wall outside of the school counseling pod space. And that was up for a while around through February vacation. And it was really great for students to be able to kind of, take a peek at it and see, maybe feeling less alone about the challenges that they were facing. Okay, some stats regarding suicide and depression at the high school. So 28.5% of students reported feeling sad or hopeless almost every day for at least 2 weeks in the last 12 months. This was down from 37.1% 2 years ago. 42.5% of students reported they got help from an adult when they were feeling sad or hopeless. That's up from 34.8% in 2023. And 11.8% of students reported that they seriously considered attempting suicide in the last 12 months. And this number was nearly in half from 2023, which was 20.8%. Something that we've really, brought to the table this year, no pun intended, is lunch tables for wellness themes. So in September, we partnered with NAMI for Suicide Prevention Month and 988 Day. November, we had World Kindness Day, and there's a photo of that on the next slide. February is Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, so we partnered with Caring Unlimited, that awesome organization that Kathleen mentioned in a previous slide. And then we have some events coming up too in the next couple of months. So April, we're gonna have a growth mindset table where students will be able to write an intention down and really do some thinking about what statements, what self-talk is a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. We'll encourage all students and staff to wear green and do some partnering with NAMI there too. And June, we'll be partnering with Out Maine to have a table for Pride Month. So this is just some photos of all of that. It's hard to see a little bit, but the kindness theme that we had this year was sprinkle kindness like confetti, and every sticky note acted as a piece of confetti that corresponded with a certain random act of kindness. So hold the door open for somebody. Thank a staff member for all the work that they do for you, and things like that. Something that we routinely offer at the high school as well is stress relief sessions during midterms and finals week. This is very popular with the underclassmen who don't have transportation to navigate those open campus periods in between exams. I offer multiple things, but they just like slime. It's really, really interesting. So my table is sticky and a mess, but the kids leave with their shoulders a little bit down and they feel more prepared and relaxed to take on their next exam. Bottom left corner there is a red and green flag activity that we partnered with for Caring Unlimited. So students were read a statement, identified where was a relationship, red flag or green flag, and then they were able to get a prize if they answered correctly. We have the cell phone policy, and our response to that was, we really need to figure out ways for students to connect outside of their phones and outside of social media. So we were able to accumulate a lot of donated games and purchase some as well to have at lunch. And we actually just got a mini grant through MEF to increase our stockpile of games. So that's very, very exciting. And I think we can really think creatively too, like when it gets warm outside, maybe having a giant Connect 4 game that students could play out on the courtyard. So really looking forward to that opportunity to expand on that. Substance use at MHS, so some quick stats for you here. So tobacco use, 24.8% of students reported they have used an electronic vapor product. This was actually down from 30.4% in 2023. 16.9% of students reported they have had at least one drink of alcohol in the past 30 days, down from 23.8% in 2023. 46.7% of students reported it would be easy or very easy to get marijuana, down from 60.9% in 2023. 4.7% of students reported they have been drunk or high at school at least once. This is down from 9.7%. 11.3% of students reported that they have been offered, sold, or given drugs on school property, and that's down from 19.6% in 2023. So thinking about substance use prevention and intervention at Marshwood High School. Marshwood High School signed a new partnership agreement this year with Maine CDC's Maine Prevention Network. That lovely human in the photo is Chelsea Farrington. She is the tobacco prevention specialist at Maine Health, and she's really been doing some amazing work with kids and also with our administrators to take a second look at our substance use policy as well. So she does tabling at lunch with resources, and she also has done individual meetings with students who might have multiple discipline infractions related to substance use. At the high school, we continue the 3-meeting model intervention with our students that violate substance use policies the same way that the middle school does. SERP, Student Intervention Reintegration Program classes. In the past, we've referred SERP to students, and it's been an online option, and students really on their own time have to schedule it. This year in the fall, we brought the woman Kim Parent from SERP to run an in-person class, because we had a small group of students that would benefit from that. And I feel like they got more out of it than they would have sitting at home, maybe, hitting next on their computer and moving on to the next thing. Nutrition at Marshwood High School, 37.7% of students reported they've eaten fruit 2 or more times a day within the last 7 days, up from 26.7%. 20.4% of students ate fruit or vegetables 5 or more times a day in the last 7 days, up from 11.1%. And 10.6% of students reported that they didn't drink soda, sports drinks, energy drinks, or other sugar-sweetened beverages in the last 7 days, down from 18.2% in 2023. I was a little bit surprised at that statistic. I still, like Kathleen mentioned, those lime green Aroma Joe's Rushes that come in the building. I would say our free breakfast is something that I've seen students take more and more advantage of every school day. I love seeing students with smoothies in their hands, choosing healthier options, so that's really great. In some areas of growth for us at the high school, we are always looking for ways to improve. A need for us that we're exploring at the moment, further training for school counselors and other support staff in substance use prevention and intervention. Chelsea Farrington introduced to us that there's a lot of free substance use curriculum out there, Stanford Reach Lab, Catch My Breath, and we really want to try to figure out the best way to use these curriculums. And if we're thinking in terms of prevention, I think we can have further conversation as a school about maybe incorporating some of these lessons into health classes a little bit more. Continuing to plan school-wide events that promote school culture and wellness, continue the expansion of the BAR team and wellness programming, supported rollout of the senior portfolio and vision of the graduate. We're excited to see what this will look like for our incoming freshmen and continuing to support that, and continue training in suicide prevention. So the school counselors, social workers, and the school nurse are going to receive a training from the head of a nonprofit called Stay for Life. So she's a local Maine woman who lost her son to suicide a few years ago, and her website is incredible. She has a lot of resources, but she really primarily focuses on boys and men's mental health and how the signs of mental health challenges for boys and men might look a lot different than we're used to seeing. And then another thing that we're looking forward to doing is collaborating with NAMI Maine to implement a crisis protocol across the district to support our students who are experiencing mental health challenges. That's all for me.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very, very good.
Excellent.
Is the full My House report available? Do we have it up on the website or anything like that? I'd love to see all of the data.
Yeah, I can do that. I have it in my office.
The stuff we saw tonight was hopeful, not where we want to be, but better than we were.
Yep.
I mean, I'd like to conclude that means that the hit we took during COVID, we're starting to come out of it, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to see all of the data if that's possible.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming. I think I actually have the binder with the data in it sitting on my desk with a sticky on it that says copy for the board, and I didn't do that yet.
binder, Heidi? Because I have one.
I have one in my office. I just didn't do what I was supposed to do. Thank you, though, Caitlin.
Thank you all for coming.
Thanks for coming.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
guys so much.
Thank you.
Just one more thing, really, before I get to the student report, which is just to remind everybody that on Monday, May 11th, Monday, not Wednesday, will be the district budget meeting in the gym, and we hope that everyone comes.
Yes.
And I will turn it over to Zora.
Thank you. I don't have a super formal
student report tonight because I spent most of my evening helping out with the 8th grade family night.
Nice.
But it was really great to see so many students from Marshwood High School showing up and like supporting all of the 8th graders coming in, and everybody was smiling and everybody was super friendly, and it was great showing them around the school, and just like they looked so happy and excited. And obviously there was like some nerves and everything, but I think a lot of people left a lot more relieved now that they kind of know the building a bit more. The other thing to note is that I think all classes just got their course selection forms, so everybody's going through with their teachers and trying to figure out what the best fit for next year is, and there's a lot of excitement about that. And it's great seeing kids care so much about the ways that they're engaged in academics. And then my last note is kind of on the same topic as part of what the counselors discussed, but we got board games in the cafeteria, and it's been great to see people use those rather than like being on their phone or like doing whatever else. So it's great to see kids engaged in all aspects of their high school life.
Good to hear.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thanks so much. Great. Okay.
Okay.
No correspondence to report on. Report of the committees, F&F met earlier this evening. I'll run the numbers, and Kate's going to handle the rest of this stuff. So, still looking good budget-wise. Our general cash at the end of the month is above $1 million, which is where we need it to be. Expenditures are running a little bit ahead of revenues, but we're expecting that to catch up over the next month or so. Adult education is at about a $40K surplus right now, but expected to spend down to zero by the end of the year. School nutrition, which runs a month behind, so these are the February numbers, by the way. For the January, school nutrition is still running a slight profit, so that's good to see. Federal grants still coming in slowly, but coming in. We're pretty much right where we expected to be for this time through the course of the school year. So that was good news. That's pretty much it for the numbers. Kate, did you want to do the rest?
Sure. So we talked about the tractor at the Great Works School, which has been around for a long time, is finally being laid to rest after 20 years of service. And we, over the last year, were at the point where we were renting. We were renting for snow removal anyway at like $1,500 a month. So it was time. And the new tractor is estimated to be about $42,500, so that'll be about $8,000 to $10,000 per year. I think probably over 5 years. And then the next big update is the middle school sewer project, which has been on everyone's mind. Some very reassuring news actually is that Ryan had a meeting this morning, and it sounds like we're one of 3 schools in the state that still occasionally has to empty our wastewater into fresh water. So we're on the radar for being able to potentially get a grant in upwards of $1 million, which could help support getting the middle school put onto the town sewer, which would be amazing. It would still ultimately cost us probably around $400,000, $600,000. But this would be in coordination with the town of Elliott, and they would ultimately be responsible for the upkeep of the pipes moving forward, which would be a bonus. So that would probably be going into effect in another year, if that's something that we end up getting with the town of Elliott. So there's that. And then for transportation update, we have been approved by the state to purchase another couple buses. So we would get them for 2027, but we wouldn't start paying for them until 2028. And then for food service, Sam, who's been with us for a long time as a kitchen manager at the middle school, is going to be leaving us. Very sad to see her go. So we'll be looking to replace her in the not so distant future. And that's it.
Thank you. Ed Policy will next meet later this month, March 25th. And I think Wellness SEL will next meet on April 1st. So we'll get reports subsequent to those meetings. And that completes the report of the committees and brings us to new business. May I have a motion, please, to approve the second reading of EBBD?
I move to approve the second reading and adoption of policy EBBD, temperature in schools.
Second, Heather?
Heather, thank you. No changes from the first read? Comments or questions? All in favor? Okay, that's 6-0, thank you. Motion, please, with regard to the second read and adoption on CBI.
I'll move to approve the second reading and adoption of policy CBI, supervision and evaluation of the superintendent.
Second, Rebecca?
Rebecca, thank you. Same thing, no changes from the first read. Comments or questions? All in favor? Okay, that is 6-0. Thank you. Motion, please, with regard to the second read and adoption of CB-E.
I move to approve the second reading and adoption of policy CB-E, Superintendent of Schools Job Description.
Second, Lisa.
Lisa, thank you. Again, no changes. Comments or questions?
Easy
Ed?
one. No, sorry.
Oh, I thought you were raising your
Sorry,
hand because you had
no.
comments.
I'm just going to keep my hand up. No.
All
No
in
questions.
favor? All in favor,
Sorry.
6-0, thank you. And a motion, please, with regard to the second read and adoption of EEAG.
I'll move to approve the second reading and adoption of policy EEAG, student transportation and private vehicles.
Second, Heather?
Heather, thank you. Again, no changes from the first read. Comments or questions? All in favor?
Sorry.
6-0. Very good. Thank you. Turn the page there quickly. That concludes new business and brings us to building administrator check-in. We have middle school and high school here. Good, excellent.
Yes, we do.
Who wishes to go first?
Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. So I haven't been up here, so just please bear with me. So over the past month, our school community has been actively engaged in a wide range of academic, extracurricular, and community-based experiences. So parent-teacher conferences went really, really well. We had our book fair that fostered excitement around reading and literacy, and some parents got hooked into getting some books on the way in and out, we'll put it that way. We had an awesome 6th grade dance. The 7th grade dance is this Friday, so a lot of neon will be happening. It's a glow-in-the-dark type of situation. The 6th grade dance, all of our dances and all of our activities at our school are cell phone free, because that's just what we do, and it's really cool. The kids come in, they know, they put their phones to the side, and they're just interacting with each other and having a great time. It's really great to see. And the parents are really understanding that that's our culture at our school, and it's really nice. Our students also showcase their talents at our talent show and their district band concert last week. The talent show was awesome. Mrs. Bison did a great job, and she had her intern Liz Johnston to help highlight our students' creativity and skills. As a select group of our 8th graders participated in the National Assessment of Education process, the NAEP testing. So we'll see how they did. Our unified basketball team is practicing, and they're getting really excited for their game coming up soon, which will be at the end of the month. We had our final visit with Tony Bland from the bar, as we continue to focus on our relationships and achievement with our students. Each month we emphasize our core value, and in March our focus is leading with change. This includes supporting our 8th graders as they begin preparing for the transition to the high school, and the high school students came and visited today to share their experiences this week actually, and our 8th graders are now beginning to schedule their classes, and they came tonight and got to go around and tour the building and meet a lot of new faces. On March 9th, State Representative Michelle Myers visited 7th grade social studies classes where students learned about her work in Augusta and engaged in thoughtful and insightful discussions. So they had some really great questions for her, which was nice. The District Hawk Conference was a tremendous success. We extend our appreciation to Katie Gilpatrick, Renee Caverly, Aaron Wind, Kevin Fillion, Sam Stevens, Brett Walker, Officer Gavoni, Cindy Travers, Christine Catalonia, Mary Macedo, Tracy LaPointe, Kathleen Ring, and Mick Smith for representing the Marshwood Middle School and presenting or providing wellness activities. Those are all the people from the middle school that presented or did some type of activity, and I'm really proud that they stepped out of their comfort zone and did that for our district. It makes Mama Bear proud. Another proud moment for me and for our staff is we are excited to welcome back Mrs. Schaaf, Tammy Schaaf, who recently returned from her trip to Alaska, where she connected for the Iditarod. She is sharing her firsthand experience with students and staff, including she attended Musher's banquet, observing the ceremonial start, visiting Martin Boozer's kennel, and working closely with the sled dogs. Mrs. Schaaf also dedicated time to developing and teaching lessons while she was there, and was collecting data, which she said was very nerve-wracking, because she had to collect the data of the sled rides and races, and that was really nerve-wracking, providing students with unique and enriching real-world learning experiences. So it's really cool. So she'll learn soon if she won or not. So keep
She's
listening.
one of three. That's
One of
good.
three.
One of three.
That's exciting.
One of three. So we're waiting anxiously to know. On Saturday, March 14th, Marshwood Middle School proudly hosted the return of its Marshwood Middle School Wrestling Tournament, a long-standing tradition of excellence in our community, led by Coach Matt Ricks, a 10-time state champion coach and New England Wrestling Hall of Fame member. The event began with a free one-hour clinic for wrestlers. Schools from across the state participated, nearly 100 athletes in attendance. The tournament was a great success and served as a meaningful fundraiser to support and enhance opportunities for our middle school athletes. A big thank you to Mr. Bean, our athletic director at the middle school, for bringing this fundraiser to life, his hard work and dedication. And if you haven't met Mr. Bean, his energy fills the room more than mine can. So that's a lot. His hard work does not go unnoticed. So, and then I'd like to recognize 8th grader Amelia Kill for her exceptional achievement in the National History Day. Her exhibit, The Silent Revolution, and explored the revolution, reaction, and reform related to deaf culture. Amelia earned a superlative for her most enthusiastic interview and has advanced as a finalist for Maine's National History Day at the University of Maine on May 2nd. Wow. We are incredibly proud of her accomplishment in representing our school. And then I'd like to invite you all to Allied Art Night at our school on Tuesday, March 24th from 6 to 7:30. All students and families are welcome. Student-led performances, activity, hands-on learning. You get to meet our staff, arts, ASL, band, chorus, family consumer science, French, growing hawks, health, PE, Spanish, technology. It's just going to be a great night, so please come and join us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening. Firstly, my apologies for loitering awkwardly in the back. I've somehow tweaked my back. My concern was if I sat down next to Christine, I wouldn't be able to stand up. So I need to stand so I can drive home. And secondly, Hawk Day was great, but the best part of Hawk Day was I won a sourdough loaf in the raffle, which is great. But I don't know where it came from. So like,
Oh, I know who made it.
but whoever made it, fantastic. Thank you so
Pam
much.
Starkey.
Thank you so much. It's great.
That's
I never win things. I want
Sourdough bread.
Oh, nice.
It's great. And by way, I guess by way of an indication of what's happening at the high school, I guess probably today is probably the best way of answering that. I mean, it's we just had our welcome for the 8th grade families. Before that, we had parent-teacher conferences. Before that, we had a whole day of school. Just want to thank everybody at the high school, our counselors who were right here and now left. Just the extent to which we have our faculty talking about the clubs and activities that students can join here. the extent to which our 9th grade team was there and talking to prospective families about what it's like to be in 9th grade, and the support that everyone got through that today was just really fantastic. It's just a great sense of our community. Obviously great for me to meet the new families coming up and meet those 8th grade students and getting a sense of who's going to be at the building next year. But just a really good indication of, I think, of the community we have here at Marshwood High School. And those teacher conferences, obviously that necessity of having that regular contact with teachers to know how your students are doing. And through the day today, I saw lots of students walking around with their pink sheets and their green sheets and looking at course selection for next year, which is great. It means that at the high school, this is sort of where we're turning our attention. We're sort of thinking about next year, those last couple of months with the seniors and helping them get to the end and not quite have their heads in college just yet, but hey, we've still got some work to do to get you to the end here. And now for our juniors and sophomores and freshmen, that course selection process, just really great to hear the conversations they're having with their teachers about what should they be doing, what the balance is, what they want to take. So just a really sort of good indication of where we are as a building. And I said this tonight when I talked to the incoming families. I'd asked randomly one of the freshmen, I said, I'm going to talk to the incoming families about Marshwood High School. What should I tell them about why you want to go to Marshwood High School? He said, oh, it's cool, they'll like it. And that's pretty good. That's pretty good anecdotal evidence, if you like, from random strangers. And one of our teachers today did a similar thing just in terms of one of the clubs we have and what can we articulate about what the high school's doing well. They said very little bullying. Things in the hallway celebrating students are good. The lunch ladies are amazing. Let's echo that point. The lunch ladies are amazing. And the phone ban is getting people talking to each other, which is great, which is what we wanted. Certainly on that, mea culpa from me, we definitely are not trying to ban music. We're not trying to ban headphones. I need to do a better job of messaging and managing that process. It's taking a little bit longer, a little bit more complex, I think, than I thought it was going to be. But we'll get there together. A little bit of grace, we'll get through that together. But yes, I think we can celebrate the fact that our cell phone ban is working really well in that idea of bringing people together. And, wow, I can't remember my writing. Oh, that's right, sorry. That's the last point. I wanted to say that on Friday night, the Marshwood Theatre Boosters held a fundraiser. And they were very nice to ask me to perform. And I was very gracious in saying, look, I'm sorry, my performing days are well behind me, but I do want to shout out my colleague, Mr. Chris Jones, who had the absolute nerve to stand up in front of an audience of theatre kids and families and sing. So congratulations, Chris.
Wow.
You're a bigger man than mine. For taking on the challenge of raising money for the theatre kids. That's fantastic. That's an indication of where we are as a community. So thank you all, and I'll see you next time.
I should have mentioned Mr. Rowe at the middle school saying, look at Ariel, part of your world. And it's on video. I should have played it for everybody to see.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Thank you.
So good.
Okay, last thoughts from the board. In which case, I will entertain a motion to enter into executive session.
I move to enter into an executive session for the purpose of discussion of personnel issue pursuant to Title I MRSA subsection 456A.
I'll second.
Okay, thank you. All in favor? 6-0. Okay, we're done with our regular